Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In our lesson today we're going to be continuing Module 3, Conditionals. This lesson we're going to be doing the coding lesson, While Loops with Farmer. In this lesson we're going to be using again the code.org homepage. When you're there, click on the Learn link in the top left corner. On the next page we're going to scroll down, click on Learn More in grades K to 5. Our lesson today is going to be in Course D. And in Course D, we're going to be doing exercise 12, While Loops in Farmer. Once we're there, we're going to click on number 1 and begin our lesson. Here are instructions telling us that we need to move to the pile of dirt and use the remove block to get rid of it. The remove block is a new command that we're going to use to get rid of certain items in our puzzles. Let's trace the path from the farmer to the dirt. When we trace our path, we see that it takes our farmer 4 blocks. So we're going to bring over a repeat and set it equal to 4 times. This will allow the farmer to get to the dirt. To finish our puzzle, we need to get rid of the dirt pile, and we're going to use the remove command. Now when we hit run, our farmer moves forward 4 and gets rid of the dirt. Well done. We'll be using the remove command in a lot of our puzzles here. Here in puzzle 2, it's asking us to move to the hole and fill it with 6 shovelfuls of dirt using the fill block. We can see in the play space that it's going to take us 1 move forward to get to the hole. Now to fill the dirt, we're going to use a repeat. The hole requires 6 dirt shovels, so we're going to set our repeat to 6. And inside we're going to bring over a fill 1 command. Each time we run our loop, the hole will get 1 fill of dirt. We'll check our code and click run. And our code does exactly what we need. Well done. Let's click on continue and move on to puzzle 3. Here in puzzle 3, our instructions are asking us to move the pile of dirt and use as few blocks as possible. Over here in the pile, we see that there are 10 shovelfuls. We're going to bring over 1 move forward to get to the dirt. And then to remove it, we're going to use a repeat loop. We're going to set our repeat loop to 10 because there are 10 dirt shovels. Inside, we'll bring over a remove command. Our loop looks good. Let's hit run. Well done. Now we're going to watch a video that's going to describe to us about how to use while loops.
While loops are pretty similar to what you do in everyday life. Imagine you are washing your car. You will keep scrubbing until it's clean. So while it's not clean, continue to scrub. So you're evaluating these things all the time. Hey there, we've got a new loop to help your farmer out. It's called a while loop. It's pretty simple actually. While a statement at the top is true, do something. For example, while there's a pile, remove 1 shovelful. Go ahead and give it a try with your farmer.
In the remaining puzzles of this lesson, we're going to be seeing while loops. Let's click on continue and move on to puzzle 5 and we'll continue coding. Here in puzzle 5, we have a multiple choice. It's asking us to look closely at the code, what will happen after we click run. Down in our workspace, we see some code. In our code, we have a move forward, and now we have our first while loop. The while loop says, while there is a pile, we want the farmer to remove 1 pile of dirt. We can see it takes 1 space for the farmer to get to the dirt, and now we have to figure out what will the while loop do. Let's take a look at our answer choices. Answer choice A says nothing will happen. Answer choice B says the farmer will stop removing dirt. C says the farmer will remove dirt as long as there is a pile and stop when it's gone. I'm going to choose answer choice C. I think the while loop will get rid of all the dirt. Let's click run and see what happens. Good job. We can see that our while loop got rid of all of the dirt. If you picked answer choice C on your first try, great job. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 6. Here in puzzle 6, our instructions are asking us to help the farmer remove the pile of dirt using a while loop. We can see over here in our play space that the dirt pile has a question mark, so we don't know how much is there. That's when we use a while loop. To start our program, we're going to bring over a move forward block. We only need one because the farmer only needs to move forward one time. Now we're going to bring over a while loop, and it says while there is a pile, we want the farmer to remove 1. We're going to check our code, make sure it's connected, and hit run. Great job. We could see that there were 10 piles of dirt, and our while loop got rid of all of them. As long as there was dirt there, we kept digging it away. Let's click on continue and move on to puzzle 7. Here in puzzle 7, it's asking us to help the farmer remove all the dirt. We're going to get a hint. Here in this puzzle, we're going to use a nested loop. We're going to try to create a nested loop with a while loop inside of a repeat. Let's see if we can figure it out. We can see over here in the play space that there are several different piles. 2 of the small piles have 5, but we don't know what the large piles have. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring over a repeat. We know that there are 5 blocks, so we can use a repeat and set it equal to 5. Then we're going to bring over a move forward, 1 for each block. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create our nested loop. We're going to bring over a while loop and put it inside. This is a nested loop. We can do it 5 times because there are 5 piles. Inside of our while loop, we're going to put a remove command. Let's go ahead and double check our code, make sure it's all connected, and we're going to click run. Let's see what happens. We can see our while loop is working no matter how much dirt is in the pile. Awesome job, everyone. That's a really good introduction to while loops, and you handled it really well. Let's click on continue and move on to puzzle 8. Here in puzzle 8, we have a different pattern. Our instructions are asking us to use a while loop to fill up all of the dirt holes. To start our program, we're going to bring over a move forward. That we have a first dirt hole, so we're going to bring over a while loop. Inside of our while loop, we're going to make sure that we complete it with a fill command. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring over a turn right. After we fill the first hole, the farmer must turn that way. When we click run, we can see that our while loop works okay. But we need to keep moving forward in the pattern. So now we're going to bring over a move forward, and we're going to bring over another while loop and connect it with a fill command. From here, the farmer will turn left at the next turn. Now when we hit reset and run, we can see our farmers filling up 2 holes. Now we could continue with the same coding pattern for the next 2 rotations in our path. But remember, our instructions asked us to use a nested loop. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our existing code, we're going to move it over. When we count our path and trace, we realize that we're going to need to do the same pattern 3 times. You can double trace the path just to make sure. But now what we've done is we have created a nested loop with while loops inside. Let's double check our code, and we're going to click run and see what happens. We can see no matter how much dirt is there, it's getting filled up by our program. All right, well done. I wonder if our farmer's getting tired. That was a lot of dirt. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 9. Here in puzzle 9, we're going to introduce a new while loop. In this lesson, we're going to introduce what's called the while path ahead. This will allow the farmer to continue to move forward as long as there is nothing in her way. First, let's trace the path. We can see that we move forward until we hit a hole. We turn left and continue along the path till we fill the remaining 3. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over a while path ahead loop. Inside, we're going to connect and move forward. This will allow our farmer to continue to move forward as long as there is not a hole in the path. We're also going to bring over a turn left. We know at the first corner that is the way that the farmer must turn. Now what we're going to do is going to bring over a second while loop. We're going to create a nested loop. This is going to take care of all the holes so that we can fill the dirt. Inside, we're going to connect a fill command. We're going to double check our code and hit run. We can see as long as there's a path ahead, the farmer continues to move. When we get to the hole, she's able to fill it. So far, our code works pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we have to figure out how can we complete the rest of this code. We could continue with while loops and repeat it several times, or we can do a nested loop. When we trace our path, we see a couple patterns. Number 1, each hole only has 1 dirt to fill, but also each corner requires us to turn left. So our coding pattern can work several times. When we count the path, there are 4 times that our farmer must turn. Let's double check our code, hit reset, and run. We can see that the farmer moves forward while the path is ahead, fills dirt, turns, and keeps going on. We get our second, third, and final. Great job. Let's click on continue and move on to puzzle 10. Alright, here in puzzle 10 we have a challenge puzzle. These are designed to stretch our brain. Let's see how we do. Here in our challenge puzzle, our instructions are asking us to fill all of the holes using as few blocks as we can. Let's trace our path. We can see that right away we have a hole. We need to fill it and then turn right. When we get to the next hole, again we have to fill it and turn right again. As we trace our path, we should see a pattern. Do you see it? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a while path ahead. Inside of that, we're going to place a move forward command. This will allow the farmer to continue to go ahead as long as there's not a hole in the path. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring over another while loop and place it inside. We're going to use a nested loop again. This will allow us to fill the hole as long as it is there. We also realize that each one of our turns as we go through the path is going to be right. Let's click run and see how our code works so far. We move forward, fill, and turn right. Our code works well, but we need something else to allow us to continue. We're going to use another nested loop. Let's trace our path one more time. I counted 5 turns that our farmer needs to make. I'm going to bring over a repeat and create our new nested loop. We're going to double check our code and hit run. We can see as we move through the code, the farmer is able to move ahead, fill the hole, and turn right each time. As the gaps get longer, our farmer is still moving forward. And we can see we get to the end. Great job. That was a tricky puzzle. You did well. We have 3 more puzzles. Let's finish strong. Here in puzzle 11, it's asking us to remove the dirt piles in as few blocks as possible. Let's trace the path. We can see we have 1, 2, and 3 dirt piles. Did you see any patterns? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring over a while path ahead. And we're going to connect and move forward. We've done this now in the last couple puzzles. Then what we're going to do is we know that for each dirt pile, we're going to have to use another while loop. We're going to change from path ahead to there's a pile and then connect a remove command. We should have noticed that at each turn, our farmer has to go left. To finish our code, we're going to do another nested loop. Just like we did in our previous puzzle, we realize that our code works for the first side, but we have to use the same pattern 3 times. 1 for each dirt pile. Now that we've double checked our code, we can click run. We move path ahead, remove pile, turn left. And our code repeats it until we get to the end. Great job, everybody. We have 2 more puzzles. Let's continue on to number 12. Here in number 12, our instructions again are asking us to remove the dirt piles. Let's trace our path. We see we have 1, 2, 3 dirt piles. To start off our program, we're going to bring over a while path ahead. Inside, we'll connect and move forward. Now we're going to create our nested loop again and turn left at the corner. When we hit run, we see that so far our code works all right, but we need to continue with the pattern. As we continue with our code, we can see that we're able to get to the first pile, but our code stops. We need to create a nested loop. If we trace our path, we realize that we need to go through the process 3 times. We're going to bring over a repeat and bring all of our code over and nest it inside. We're going to change our repeat loop from 5 to 3 and hit run. We see the farmer moves forward, turns, and is able to get rid of each dirt pile. And we get to the end. Great job. Let's click on continue and move on to our final puzzle, lucky number 13. Here in puzzle 13, we have a multiple choice. It's asking us to take a look at the code and see what will happen. What will be left at the end of this puzzle? Here in our workspace, we see a nested loop. We see a nested loop where inside we have a while path ahead, move forward, and while there is a hole, fill it. We also turn right. If we look in the play space, we can see that the farmer must fill the first hole, remove the second, and fill the third. What do we think will happen? In our answer choices, we have A, nothing. The code will leave only level ground. B, the code will leave a pile completely untouched. Or C, the holes are completely untouched. I'm going to choose option B. The reason I'm choosing option B is that in the code, there is no remove commands. You can't get rid of a pile if we don't have a remove. When we click run, we see the farmer getting to the first hole and filling it. She's able to turn. And now we get to the pile. And she left it behind. We were correct. Great job. If you chose answer choice B on your first try, you're doing great work. Congratulations. That's the end of this puzzle and lesson. If you have any questions about any of the puzzles individually in the video, please find the appropriate time point and review the puzzle steps. We thank you for following along in this lesson. In our next one, we will continue with Module 3. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep on coding.